It's a responsible use of your position.
Sorry, I'm in the chat. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the pregame show. Wow. Shout out to PHNX, man. Wow.
That's
popping
crazy.
in. What Nuggets are better than subs. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, you really did? You really did do that?
I really did. Yeah, I really did. Well, not me. I mean,
You said it in a joking
PHNX.
manner, and then you just really went ahead with it.
Yeah, why not do it? You got to pick these vibes up one way or another. Look at us, guys. We're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. That man over there, that genius on the end there, is going to make us so much money here in just a little bit. I can't wait because I really need it. Really could use some dollars over there, Dev. What do you say?
I got you guys, man. That's what I come here for.
That is why you come here. Over here, I got D-Line Co. You guys know him as Eric.
I'm looking for some dollars. I don't have a lot going on that's going that great in my life. If I'm being real, Dev. I need this in a way that I can't really describe.
Wow.
It goes deeper than money. It's sort of like my belief system has been shaken to its core. And if I don't get a win tonight.
Wow.
Okay, so he took the negative one. I'll go positive.
Okay, yeah.
Really stoked to be here. I missed that Saturday Immaculate Winners Lounge with all the Rakia.
Dude, that was so fun.
No rules
Actually,
against
it
doing
wasn't-
that on a Monday, though, right?
You wouldn't believe what happened, man. I was like, hey, guys, let's, no reason for me to be home early tonight. Usually it's got the kid. It's like, let's all go hard. No, I went hard.
No one else went hard
I
with you?
was a one-man drunk. A one-man drunk is a very
party
lonely.
schedule never matches.
It never
up with the rest of
matches.
us.
It
It's
never
a bummer,
matches.
dude.
Well, the worst part is that you are in control of your schedule.
I'm not. Though.
You
I'm not,
decided-
though. I'm only the only dad here. Come on.
That
Let's
is
get
true.
out
Well,
of
you
here.
shouldn't have had kids. We talked about that.
Shouts to Dylan and Ellie. Guys, the Nuggets are back in Denver for the first time
Let's
since
freaking go, dude.
I think
nice.
2016. I believe it was the last time they were here.
Do you think they're kind of bummed when they came back? They're like, I remember it being like cool.
A little bit better. Well, I was actually thinking about this while they were gone. We had that string of like 70-degree game days, and I was like,
Totally.
this would have been great for everybody to be like, hey, Denver rules.
Dude, there's been so many times where I'm like going to a game and I'm like, I live here. I've lived here most of my life, and if somebody told me that I was being traded here right now, I would be irate.
Oh, yeah, if it's snowing and it's
It's
ugly.
like black, particularly early
I'm
somehow.
like, there is no world that I would accept that trade.
I think about this all the time. And you remember the first playoff series of the Jokic era? In the second round, it's May,
Yeah.
and then we had that giant snowstorm, and I all of the national media was in town. They're like, snowy Denver, and I was like, damn it!
Every time they're in town like 6 times a year.
I know.
Regardless of season, it snows every time.
I know.
the
I'm
worst.
like looking up flights to Miami.
like the same
Like,
joke.
getting my agent on the phone.
But to the rest of the world, they think it's pretty cool, like, because they show the
Oh,
Rocky
alright.
Mountains, they show
Yeah.
like all the cool things that like we really don't see down here besides fucking cold.
Hot air
So
balloons.
like, especially on those nationally like televised games, I feel like the weather actually shows out for those type of
I had
games.
no idea. I moved here and I was like, wow, it's really nice every day.
Yeah, it's
I had
Brendan.
no idea.
Shut the fuck
Oh
up.
yeah, my bad. Sorry. Right.
the Nuggets though. They're gonna pick up your vibes tonight, Eric. I hope. I'm a little bit hopeful.
Looking for the external sources, my guys.
We're really hoping Jokic could do some heavy lifting tonight because the Nuggets are without Will Barton again. Man, this illness sounds kind of bad. This is like a week-long illness, and like bad enough that he still doesn't feel good to go.
Yeah, so he didn't go through shoot around again today. Mike Malone told us that. We obviously, like you said, we know Barton's out now. Malone did clarify, reiterate, it is a non-COVID illness. But to your point,
You're gonna feel so shitty if it's dengue fever. He really somehow got it.
I mean, I already went through this with Embiid.
That's right. I forgot.
I've learned that I cannot make.
He almost died.
I've learned I can't make specific illness jokes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So I'm not
Yeah,
going
keep
to.
it vague. Keep it vague.
I don't even know what
So
dengue
it does
fever
sound-
is. Like, how do you get it? Don't you get it? Like, it's like
if you don't know how you get
it mosquitoes?
almost all of them are transmitted through mosquitoes. That's how. Almost
Okay.
all
Are we
of
saying
them.
Bengay fever?
But it does seem, in hindsight, it seems like Barton gutted through something to play in that last game, and it's something he can't get through tonight.
Okay. J. Mike also out. He rolled his ankle.
let's go
So
to game notes, huh?
yeah, let's just go ahead in game notes.
Jamichael's also out. Michael Malone called it a pretty serious thing, the ankle injury. And AG is questionable with low back pain.
Here's the thing about it. So the Nuggets now down Barton. Still Austin Rivers is out, although we expect this is the last of it. The Nuggets aren't that less out than the Bulls, who just had their games canceled. Like, I know they're out because all of their players are COVID. It's health and safety. COVID is like the special thing.
That's it. Yeah.
No, it is. It is it. But I'm looking at it. I'm like, Denver's also down to 9 guys.
I know, right? Like, can we cancel it for safety protocols? Yeah, just not the health.
Right. Just no one's available. Yeah. And so Aaron Gordon also popped up late on the injury report, questionable with low back pain. Still questionable. To
He's
my knowledge.
apparently he's in.
Is he in? Okay, there we go.
James, according to James Wright, sources close to DNVR's live stream chat are reporting.
Thanks, James. Hey, he's been on the internet in the last 5, and I have not. So
Let's just have everybody, like everyone in the chat, just tell us who's playing.
Malone did say that he's not surprised AG is feeling some lower back pain. We've all talked so much about, what a burden this has been for Jokic already. Malone expressed something similar about AG. So much has been asked of him. So he did say Aaron has fit in so well, and obviously that was the case last year, but even more so this year after an offseason with the team. Malone finding time to find ways to feature him more. So some praise for AG, but also some concerning news, but at least he's in. Oh, Malone did also say about AG, I thought this was an interesting note. Sometimes the best time to get him the ball is in transition because he's so often guarding a small or cutting off that point of attack that he's got a smaller guy on him. He can get down, get near the rim early, seal him off, and we've seen that bear fruit. So that was interesting. He also shouted out Davon Reed, who he said has been phenomenal for us. This is, of course, Davon Reed's last day on that 10-day contract. And then I'm not sure where they'll stand on the hardship exception from there because Rivers is returning. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Reed back with this team at some point, but we'll have to see how that plays out.
I really like Davon Reed, and he's starting tonight and will spot again, and I'm I like it, man. I feel all right about that. There's certain players when you look, I wouldn't feel good about it in a playoff series. I wouldn't feel good about it long term, but in the short term, I'm like, all right, that means Jokic is going to touch the ball even more tonight. That's a win.
Yeah,
that's a win.
On Wes Unseld Jr. and how different things might be or similar things might be between the two teams. Malone said literally the play calls are the exact same. Literally. It's not like they've been redisguised or repackaged. It is the same thing. You'll hear the same things called out. And so he joked with his guys, if you mess up the plays or the coverages tonight, you are in trouble. He did later clarify that Wes Unseld Jr. is his own coach who's putting his own fingerprints and coaching philosophy all over this Wizards campaign. But there are, of course, similarities, and that's because of what a big part Wes was and everything Denver has done here for the last half decade. So, Malone with a lot of respect for Wes, obviously.
Watching this. It's weird that people were when we first launched PHNX, people were like, "Oh, you guys are going to be rooting for all the feast." I kind of root against them harder than ever before now.
You actually just I think committed a felony by impersonating them in the chat moments ago. You're actually just like plotting their failure at every turn.
A little bit I am. Anyway, they just threw what I thought was going to be a pick six in the end zone. It was going to be glorious. I was going to sit here and laugh the entire 105 yards. My back. I was like, hell yeah. I don't have any skin in the game. Dev, honestly though, how do you think Wes Unseld, knowing all of the plays, having a great scouting report on Jokic, is this a factor in this game tonight?
Absolutely not. Because even in his peak, he would not be able to stop Jokic. It's just nothing you could do about that. Also,
wait,
his peak?
Yeah, his peak. Yeah. You're saying I'm just saying that he knows the play. They know this guy.
There's nothing you can do. Even at your best, you can't slow down Jokic. There's nothing you could do about it. Also, you can't prep for those type of things. The best you could do is send a double team. You're in the NBA. It doesn't. You're not going to be able to do it with a player that talented. I really don't think that it would matter at all. It also might cause you more issues. This is not the same team that you were coaching against. This is not the same, squad and ideas. And also, Jokic is just going to set you up. That's who they're going to run their offense through. That's who's going to have the ball in his hands. And everyone seems to know what they're going to do. The ball's going to go to Jokic. He's going to make things happen. There's no advantage.
I also wonder, this might be galaxy brain. I'm literally just spitballing, but is this almost an advantage for Jokic? Does he have a better idea now of maybe all right, they know exactly what we want to do. I have an idea of how I'm going to counter their counters. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see for sure. But
Jokic usually, when you talk about familiarity, the advantage is usually Jokic.
Yeah.
If everybody played each other 100 times, Yoke's after 3 times.
That's how I feel.
It is going to be hilarious if we watch them play and they just have a center that they give the ball to every time. It's literally their plays are well, we're going to give it to Yoke-ish.
Jokic. That's great. That's really good. Oh, really quick, Wes Unseld Jr. also said in his press conference that he still texts with Nikola Jokic to this day, and he hopes he has a terrible, terrible game tonight.
Hell yeah.
I love this. Like, I do wonder, the NBA's tampering rules are so funny because Tim Conley does this all the time too. He's like, yeah, I still talk to Gary Harris every day, and I'm always like, I thought you weren't allowed to.
He's like, that's pretty funny.
Right?
But the league's like, you're talking to who? Gary Harris? All right.
Yeah. I like the idea that like you can't reach out to their representation, but if you want to shoot them a text, you can.
Yeah, they just talk about a lot of things. Like, hey, what are you going to do as a free agent?
Michael Malone's like, I talk to LeBron James every day. They shut the league down. TC's like, I talk to Gary Harris every day. They're like, fine. Absolutely fine.
It is ridiculous. All right, we'll move on now to Spotlight here because there's a lot of guys out. And so now you turn and you like, okay, well, who are we focused on? Who are we thinking, okay, that's the guy we want to kind of zero in on? I'll start over here on this side.
Let me see.
Dev, who's like a game you're like, all right, I'm going to watch this guy tonight. It's who I'm looking for not a breakout, but a good game.
I would say Zeke Naji. I think that's a player that stands out just because Malone mentioned him in the pregame as a guy, especially with Aaron Gordon, like news, like his status up in the air. Just trying to see if he could get some consistency and try to get back. We have not seen him make a three. We have not seen him take a three. He's just not himself right now or what we've expected of him. So I want to see if that's something that they've, discussed. It was a long, road trip. You're back home. There's time to actually talk about, how your season has been going. And I know that he realizes, like, okay, things have been a little bit different. I've been getting opportunity, but I'm not taking advantage of that opportunity or what got me to this point. So I think that's a player that I'm going to key in on.
What about you, D-Line?
Bones.
I like
that one. Bones.
You took the right answer.
Bones is back. Bones showed us that he shook his hotel rust off and looked fantastic. Gave us everything that we needed from him last game, and was was somehow overshadowed by Marcus Howard, which is strange, even though they were similarly in fuego. So I just want to see Bones keep that momentum up and do what he was doing.
One do it before.
Yeah, I want to see him do what he was doing right before he got the health and safety protocols, which was have a better game every game.
Doesn't it kind of feel like he ended on that note, like a launching?
That's the point. That's what I mean. I want to regain the momentum that was stolen from us, and it seems like maybe we got that a little bit.
Home crowd, you get the people cheering again. I'm with you. Bones would have been my pick.
Looking at Monte Morris tonight, whose 3-point shooting has come around.
My man's hungry for some mid-ranges over here.
Mid-range Morris. But if there's no Will Barton tonight, someone's got to pick up the scoring load. We just had a big AG game last game. Although more so in loudness of plays than final box score. But I just wonder, does he have to step up a little more now as a lead scoring guard? And does he take up the two-man game with Jokic should this game call for it late in that fourth quarter? He might be a guy who already in a bigger role than he usually is. Does he have to step up and get even more tonight?
Do you like mid-range Morris or mid-range Monte? Or Monte mid-range?
That's a great question.
Or mid-tay
I think you're losing me there.
We're starting to fall off.
I'm gonna go mid-range Morris. Mid-range Morris.
Tay.
I think mid-range Tay.
Yeah, big range Tay.
Big range.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, those are all really good. It is, this is Davon Reed's last chance before he has to go back to Grand Rapids, which a couple things people maybe don't know. When you get called up, you get paid the prorated real salary. When you're down in the G League, you're not making anything. You're making I don't remember what the number is, but $670,000, which I know it's not nothing, but relative to an NBA player, it's nothing. I think he might have made more money these 10 days or close than he would in a full season down there. So it's actually real meaningful for him even just to be here for 10 days. But boy, doesn't it feel like the 10 days flew by?
Yeah.
Boy, you just look back. All the memories.
Time flies when you're dependable. You know what I mean?
What was your top 10 favorite moments of the Davon Reed era?
7 of them were the rebounds he grabbed last night.
He actually has had some good passes, man.
both.
I actually really like Davon Reed, and I'll put my spotlight on him tonight if it's his last opportunity here. I'm curious to see how he plays a little bit. But he did It's funny because the spotlight, like what I want to see from him is like no mistakes. Like I almost like don't want to see him. I want to see him not screwing up.
Right.
But the ball has been popping with him in the lineup, and I just think that he's another guy that knows he's out there to keep the ball moving, and you need those guys. A connector.
I have another answer too. Once you're done,
Let me hear it.
I want to see Vlatko take advantage of the fact that J. Mike is out.
If he gets that opportunity,
I think he probably will.
I think
he got a little like he got time
some
when
point
J.
he
Mike
has to,
went out.
right?
Well, I mean, we're seeing no.
Yeah, right.
There's no inevitability to any of that. And if there's for some reason Vlatko is not given that opportunity, I'd like to see Peter Cornelet give even
really.
Well, I want to see somebody that like gives us something that J. Mike has not been able to. Like, I just feel like I like J. Mike as a guy a lot, and I like what he's done for us, but I don't like finding myself feeling negatively about a Denver Nuggets player. So I would like there to be another player to slide in to be able to at least give us an option at those times. So that's sort of where my focus is. Yeah.
To go back to Davon Reed, first off, what happens now? Does he go back to the G League for a while? Or
because Denver doesn't have a spot. That the reason they were able to get it, Austin Rivers was out. Right. He was in the protocols, but he comes back apparently tomorrow. So
it's that hardship.
So you lose the hardship.
Yep.
So would you be able to put somebody back into the G League and throw him into the real rotation? Like how does that?
No.
Yeah,
they would have to get a roster spot open. So either another player goes down for a long-term injury. I think it's 2 weeks or something like that. Or I can't remember what the number is. Or you buy somebody out, which by the way I expect Denver to do. I really do. I expect them if they are still with Bol. And maybe even a Vlatko or whatever. I expect them to actually open up a spot at the end of the year. The problem is you pay a guy for as long as you have him. So if you bought Bol out right now, you'd have to buy him out for the rest of the year. If you buy him out in, say, April, right before the playoffs begin, you've pretty much already paid his salary, so you buy out the remainder of it, get rid of him. So that's why I think Denver might wait till the very end, trying to trade him for something, but won't have success.
One of the big things, sorry to cut you off, one of the big things about, Summer League is like this is a stint for those guys that maybe are going to go overseas or maybe guys that are just trying to get a different look for a different team to actually have an opportunity to play. Davon Reed is like in the most optimal position he's a starting player for the Denver Nuggets. Like you're playing alongside the league's MVP. You're actually starting as a guy on a 10-day contract, multiple games, and you've held your own. You have, you have film. You're a part of the opposing team.
He made some money from getting called up for sure. Not just the actual money, but
so like I feel like this was like perfect. This is like really a perfect situation, dream come true situation for him, where you can go somewhere else and make a name for yourself, or even Denver puts you like in their back pocket. Like this is a guy that we really, really like, and we've been tied to.
And if I think,
what a disaster!
No, it's good. It didn't.
Amateur hour up here.
Landed good. And I think if you're Davon Reed, you're rooting for that situation. The way Michael Malone has embraced him, I think, is probably a big deal for a bubble player trying to make it to the NBA. Malone takes every opportunity he can to talk about how much he wants to play this dude. So if you're Davon Reed and his agent, obviously any opportunity is great, but you would love the idea of Denver buying someone out and clearing a roster spot. This is probably exactly where he wants to be. And really, really quick to your point, him and Jeff Green in the lineup alongside Barton, AG, and Jokic. 3 talented players who know how to play together and 2 connectors who are not trying to do anything more than what they're supposed to. Nice dynamic.
Yeah. All right, let's move on because the big news in the Nuggets world today, the big news, I don't know if you guys heard this, Isaiah Thomas has become a gold.
A huge week for Tiny Kings.
Wow. A really huge week for Tiny King. It's actually kind of hilarious. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm the Isaiah Thomas defender here. I really am, because the guy has had a really unfortunate string of injuries since his near MVP season, and I hate that. Like guys that size have to fight so hard to get where they were, and for him to get thrown out right before he was almost a PJ Dozier-esque timing, where it's like, ready for your payday, boom, injured, nobody, and he just hasn't got traction. I root for Isaiah Thomas. That being said, it is kind of funny that the Nuggets have Facu, they've got Marcus Howard now. Isaiah Thomas back in the pipeline. Eric, what was your thought when this came out?
Are we an official tiny kingdom?
We are a tiny kingdom.
A tiny land?
God damn, he's on fire.
The land of the 14,000 footers, but we have nothing.
You're right. Like I am left with that memory of him saying, "Back the Brinks truck. They better back the Brinks truck up." Talking about his new contract with the
He was like
Celtics.
wasted, wasn't he? Like wasn't it like an interview outside of a club or something?
Oh, I don't know. That would make sense, but it sucks because then he immediately got hurt, played through injury, like was super inspirational. His sister was like, it was like a whole thing, and he really stepped up. The city of Boston, like he became a cult figure. Like
but I like Isaiah Thomas. The thing about it is I think he's actually a real one, but also like. I think a pretty good guy by all accounts. Everything that I remember from him being
I just mean like just remembering the series of unfortunate events that you're talking about. Like then he gets traded while he's injured
to Cleveland.
For Kyrie Irving. Hilarious.
By the way, Celtics kind of cursed themselves with that trade.
That entire trade, that whole trade was cursed.
Josh, that is the most I can't even call that a backhanded compliment.
What does he say?
If this was the Wizard of Oz, Vogt would be an elite lollipop kid.
Oh,
that's just an insult.
That's definitely not a backhanded. That's
no way, dude. No, dude.
The lollipop guild?
If you're gonna be in the lollipop guild, you be the best goddamn lollipop guild member. Like,
well, I do it all for pride.
But point being, like Isaiah Thomas was not great in his first stint with the Nuggets. He looked very much like his body had betrayed him.
Yeah.
And we kept hearing many times that he was on the comeback trail. We've heard this many times
from him. Yeah,
that's what I mean. We've seen a lot of Instagram. He scored 60 points in that Pro-Am series game like not that long ago, and we were like, oh my god! And then like 4 other players scored 60 points in the next 2 games. So I don't know where this dude is at. Like I think it's interesting just because of like. Because it's cool to see people be able to.
I know. Isaiah Thomas he's the 60th pick.
Yeah,
he's kind of a true nugget when we talk about the nugget. Like he is, just he's been down, counted out. So part of me, like, I root for Isaiah Thomas.
True. It is the exact opposite, but just he is the yin to Faku's yang, a tiny little yang and yin where. Isaiah Thomas is not a hustler at all. He doesn't play great defense at all.
He's a really bad
incredible
defender.
shooter.
He's an incredible offensive player.
Can't shoot at all. But if you put the two of them together, can we get them to stand on each other's shoulders?
Oh my God, they would be like an all-star. Like IT's offense
like
with Faku's defense.
Like a longer,
both of them together, and you're like, wait a second, hold
on. Oh gosh. Oh, does this feel like to any of you like it's about the Denver Nuggets though versus it's like Tim Connolly and co have this whole goodwill thing going on. IT has this relationship with Jason Terry. Is this really about potentially helping the Nuggets out one day, or is this about throwing IT a bone?
Yeah,
I think it's the latter.
I really think it's throwing him a bone. Like this is a guy that really he's easy to root for. He's undersized. He's been through the highest of highs and also the lowest of lows. Truly,
every day.
And he's a true gym rat. Like he's a guy that really loves the game. Like true, like WNBA. He's like Seattle legend, Boston. He's all about Drew League. Like
he's gonna be playing basketball his whole life,
as
long as he can,
and wants to play it to like the best of his ability. And he's a veteran in the league. And for him to be kind of outcast in the way that he has, like there's a lot of people that back him because they want to see him, play well. There's not many negative things to say about IT.
You obviously can't play. I don't think you play Marcus and Faku together, even though Denver's kind of forced to right now. But you definitely couldn't play like IT and Faku or IT and Marcus or anything like that. Like, so I almost feel like I like IT. I actually think he would help the bench unit because the bench unit needs somebody to score, and he does a good job of like.
I got to see this dude play before I can make a single.
I mean, of course, yeah. But like, I don't know if he can move or whatever. But his talent-wise, at least, I think would benefit. It's like only if Marcus or Faku got hurt. Because that's the only replacement you would bring. You wouldn't bring him in additionally.
Any of the needs. Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm rooting for him. You know what? I'm going to tune into the Gold.
Good for
I'm going
IT,
to watch the Gold. I want to watch him play because I like watching IT.
Got to.
That's another.
He might go full Jimmer and do like 60 points.
That's another point of this too, though, man. As far as G League rosters go, like just buying a ticket, not being a scout. Lance IT, and even Nick Stauskas. These are names you've heard before.
That's true. That is so true.
Not every G League roster has those.
Do we have our G League team is a big 3 team.
They have more. Yeah, they are, and they have more name. We need to go get Joe Johnson. They got more name recognition than the Denver Nuggets. Like Davon Reed. They're like, who's this guy? Hold on, what?
If you were going to buy a ticket, they're like Vlatko Chancho, Davon Reed, or Lance Stevenson, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah. That's the one that's putting butts in.
Guys, it's been fun talking, but it's time to get down to business.
I told you what's on the line here, Dev.
All right, what do we got? Is it Smugget? No, we got Marcus. He says, chat, you all are amazing. I'm addicted. Tackla tonight?
Rakia tonight.
Oh, Rakia tonight. Got
Let's
you.
Let's go, Mark. Thank you, sir.
Amazing. I'm addicted and just figured out the super chat. Rakia tonight, baby. Hell yeah, man.
Let's go,
Hell
Mark.
yeah.
Those are good vibes.
I don't know if we're going to have Rakia tonight. We'll find out. We'll see.
I'll do it. I missed out on Friday. I'll go by myself.
We'll do it. All right. We have a good one, too. I got a new one.
I've
It's
heard
aged.
that. Streets are talking.
Yeah. Streets are talking. Is there another one? Gil? No, that's it. Oh, okay. All right. Let's make some money, Dev.
So just taking a look at it, Nuggets are 3.5-point favorites. They were 3-point favorites earlier. The line seen some guys out, and somehow they became more favorites. People are just pounding the line.
Wow.
Honestly, if you look at that roster that the Wizards have, just not impressed at all with what they have over there. Kyle Kuzma's out, for health and safety protocols, which is a starter. They have KCP that has to play a lot of minutes. Daniel Gafford is, I don't know who that is.
He's not going to guard Jokic, though.
And then they have Montrezl Harrell, who we all know that Jokic just does not respect, does not care about.
Dude, that is Jokic's favorite meal.
And those are the guys. There's actually the guys that are going to try to slow him down or stop him. So I really do like the Nuggets in this one.
Okay.
3.5, that's a lot, but I feel like they will get that. I will go over to the money line. It's 155 if you have to do it. It's a little juice, but at least you feel confident in it. I think that this is a game the Nuggets can win. And we've seen that they've played really well without Will Barton, who's their starter. So it comes down to that second unit.
Okay.
So we go over to player props. This is the highest that I've ever seen Nikola Jokic's line, like his stats.
Points, rebounds, and assists?
Yeah, it's at 49.5. His points are 28.5, and it's also favored. So minus 135.
Wow. You might get that on points alone.
Honestly. But really, like, I've never seen.
It is National Horse Day.
Oh, it is National Horse Day.
National Horse Day. They now, because they didn't have it earlier, but they have more lines. They have Davon Reed is on there.
Hell yeah.
they have like Bones Highland.
Yeah.
Yo, say
What's
no
his
more.
points?
Say no more.
10.5.
Yes.
Are we taking it?
Oh, yes.
We're taking it.
We made money off him last time.
Is that what we really like? Because it's also favored because they know.
Yeah, it is. They know he's going to score tonight.
And also, this is a game, like, it's going to be the battle of the second units. Wizards' second unit is not good.
It's not plus value on Bones, right? It's like, should we make Bones part of a parlay? Like, are we feeling like it's that likely?
I might just go for it. I'm going to probably put him in a parlay too with his threes.
Not to cut you off, Dev, please.
No, that makes sense. As far as like what will be my locker, what I really really like, the rebounds for Jokic has just been like a lot for me. Like he's doing whatever it is that he wants in games. And nobody can slow him down. He's going
12.5, and it's minus 165.
I will take it.
We got to put that in a parlay.
Yeah, so this is a parlay game just because the lines are just so like skewed and just so high that I really don't feel comfortable about anything besides the Nuggets money line. Like really. So this is where you guys come into play.
You want to build a parlay, D-line? You already got one going?
I don't have one going. Let's do it right now.
All right, I'm going to go Denver Nuggets win.
Okay.
I'm just going to take the straight up win.
That'd be cool.
I'm going to go. It would be really sick. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go over to the threes, and I'm going to look at Bones Highland. Do we get Bones Highland threes today? We don't.
Yo, that's
they keep doing this
in
to
the
us
same game parlay. Dude,
parlays.
the parlays are allergic to Bones Highland.
They really are.
They never put him in. He's not here for points.
He's in threes.
He's for threes? For the parlay, not for the single game parlay.
I see, yeah.
I'm going to go to Monte Morris, 1+3, because it's a lock. It's an automatic.
You love that one.
I do love that one.
We put that in every night. It hits every single
I will go with Jokic rebounds, but let me see what the lowest to 10.5. I'm going to go 10.5.
Yep.
All right, that gets me to plus 135. All these things I feel very confident about happening tonight. I think Montrezl Harrell might score tonight. I'm not going to put him in my parlay. Who am I kidding? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know what else we need? You got a bad, a bad center on the other side. I think Jokic's going to get some steals tonight. I'm going to go Jokic steals. They've been really hitting for me lately, so I'm going to add that. That brings me up to plus 210.
Where's the cutoff for you? Do you have a cutoff?
I'm going to see if Bones has points. Is Bones have
no,
points?
No, he doesn't have points. I just told you. The SGPs are allergic to Bones Island.
They just know we're going to make too much money on it. All right, I'll go over to Yoke points, and I'm just going to go 25 plus. I got plus 280. It's not my favorite parlay I've ever had. Not my favorite parlay, but I'll take it. 5-part parlay. Nuggets win. Monte 1-3. Jokic 1 steal. Jokic 10.5 boards. 25.5 points. You know what? Triple your money. Not that bad.
It's pretty good.
I'm going to hop over, though, and I am going to take not a single game parlay. I'm taking the threes, though. There's nothing more fun than Bones Island threes. It's
my God.
It's honestly the top bet you can make.
Oh, it's the greatest thing. Again, we've talked about how the fact that he shoots back from the logo and it takes the ball like real time in life. Like you can count seconds from it leaving his hands to actually reaching the rim where you have time to anticipate what's going to happen. You just stand up and be like, ah! And then if it goes in, you just go ballistic. Or you just crumple into a ball if it misses.
Should we take Facu threes too?
Oh, Doctor.
Nah, that's not good. It's 1.5. I don't like it. All right, that does it for today, guys. We'll see you guys right back here after the game. Hit that like button on the way out for good luck. You know, the Nuggets need it.
We'll
see you afterwards.